This is the chilling moment an American woman, described by prosecutors as a hitwoman, disguised herself in a niqab and burqa and attempted to assassinate a Birmingham shopkeeper, in what authorities have characterised as a calculated revenge-fuelled plot. The incident unfolded outside the victim's home, with dramatic CCTV footage played in court allegedly showing Aimee Betro, 45, approaching her target as he arrived in a vehicle, only for her firearm to jam, an error that ultimately saved the victim's life. Betro, originally from Wisconsin in the United States, is accused of flying to the UK and orchestrating a brazen attempt on the life of Sikandar Ali, the son of a local shopkeeper embroiled in a long-running feud. Birmingham Crown Court heard that the plot deepened as, undeterred by her failed initial attempt, Betro allegedly returned hours later to the same residence and fired multiple live rounds through the bedroom windows of the house in South Yardley, Birmingham. Appearing in the dock on the opening day of her trial, Betro drew attention with her eclectic attire: black-rimmed glasses, a maroon top, a brightly patterned beach shirt and pink Converse trainers. Her hair was styled in two space buns perched atop her head, an appearance described by some observers as unusual, given the gravity of the charges she faces. She stands accused of 3 serious charges: conspiracy to commit murder, possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence, and a further charge concerning the illegal importation of ammunition into the UK. She denies all allegations. Prosecutor Tom Walkling KC outlined the timeline of events to the jury, painting a picture of a meticulously planned act of violence set against the backdrop of a personal vendetta. On the 7th of September 2019, in a quiet suburban cul-de-sac in South Yardley, a would-be assassin tried to shoot Sikandar Ali at close range outside his own house, Walkling said. The assassin was a woman, cloaked in a niqab and what appeared to be a burqa, attempting to disguise her identity. Walkling told the court that although the gun jammed during her first attempt, Betro did not abandon her mission. Instead, she regrouped and returned to the scene a few hours later, this time successfully firing multiple rounds into the home through the bedroom windows. The court heard that Betro was not acting alone. 2 alleged co-conspirators, Mohammed Nazir, 30, and his father Mohammed Aslam, 56, both residents of Derby, had already been tried and convicted for their roles in the plot. Nazir was convicted of both conspiracy to murder and possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence, while Aslam was found guilty of conspiracy to murder. The prosecution asserted that Betro had been in communication with Nazir before flying into Manchester Airport in August 2019, just weeks before the attempt on Sikandar Ali's life. She allegedly brought with her a plan, a firearm, and the resolve to follow through on a deadly mission. According to Mr. Walkling, Betro operated using 2 mobile phones, a day-to-day phone for regular use and a secondary dirty phone, purchased specifically for covert communications related to the murder plot. Prosecutors argued that this clear effort to conceal her activities underscores her intent and premeditation. The motivation for the attack, the court was told, was revenge. Nazir and Aslam were reportedly locked in a vendetta against a local Birmingham family, particularly Aslam Muhammad, a clothing shop owner, and his son Sikandar Ali. The tension between the 2 families dates back to a violent altercation in July 2018 at Muhammad's clothing store. The incident resulted in property damage and physical injuries to multiple parties, including Nazir and Aslam. Prosecutors stated this conflict was the catalyst for the attempted assassination the following year. Betro, allegedly acting as the executioner in this vendetta, is said to have been in regular contact with Nazir throughout her movements in the UK. In August 2019, she rented a Mercedes C-Class from Enterprise Rent-A-Car at Birmingham Airport. That vehicle was later involved in a minor car collision in Derby, with Nazir and another woman reportedly receiving insurance payouts related to the incident. The court heard that following the car rental, Betro spent time at a hotel in Derby before travelling to London and Brighton. She later returned to Birmingham and then back to Derby, a journey which the prosecution described as a calculated effort to remain mobile and avoid detection. During this time, jurors were shown video footage taken from Nazir's mobile phone. The video, allegedly filmed 3 days before the shooting attempt, showed someone firing a gun into the ground. The prosecution argued this was a test of the weapon's reliability, a dry run for the real attack. The video's metadata confirmed it was recorded on September 4th, 2019, just minutes before Nazir added Betro to his Snapchat contacts. CCTV footage taken from the Rotunda Hotel in Birmingham showed Betro wearing a summer dress, a hoodie, flip-flops and carrying a backpack. Prosecutors told jurors that Betro, using her distinct American accent, called Aslat Mohammed under the pretense of wanting to purchase a car he had listed for sale online. Oddly, Mohammed had not posted his phone number on the advertisement, prompting suspicion. Walkling stated, "As I'm sure you've guessed, ladies and gentlemen, we say the woman with the American accent was this defendant, Aimee Betro, and that she was calling Mr. Mohammed as a pretext to set up a chance to kill him." Later that evening, she met Nazir in her hotel room. CCTV and digital records showed a pair ordered food via Deliveroo, after which Nazir returned to Derby with his father in their transit van. On the day of the attempted shooting, Betro reportedly purchased another low-cost mobile phone and SIM card, actions captured on CCTV. Using her assumed name, Becky Booth, she purchased a used silver Mercedes E240 from Rock Cars in the Alum Rock area of Birmingham. The seller described the buyer as a short, heavy-set woman with an American accent, dressed in a summer outfit and carrying a shoulder bag, an appearance consistent with CCTV images prosecutors say are of Betro. After the purchase, the car was allegedly driven to Measham Grove, where Betro waited for her target. At around 7:22 p.m, she pulled onto the street and waited for over 45 minutes. Eventually, at 9:10 p.m, Sikander Ali arrived in his black SUV. CCTV footage showed a figure exiting the Mercedes and approaching Ali's vehicle. When the weapon jammed during the attempt, Ali managed to reverse at high speed, colliding with the Mercedes and damaging its door. The impact was so forceful that Betro allegedly had to flee the scene with the car door ajar. The damaged car was later abandoned, and inside police recovered a black glove containing Betro's DNA, a crucial piece of forensic evidence linking her to the scene. 6 minutes after dumping the vehicle, CCTV captured her walking near the area dressed in a hoodie, flip-flops and a summer dress, matching earlier footage from the hotel. Despite the botched assassination attempt, the prosecution says Betro wasn't finished. Later that evening, she called another taxi using the alias Becky and returned to her hotel. At some point, she changed her clothes, switching to trousers with white stripes and black Converse trainers before setting off again. She reportedly sent a series of ominous text messages to her intended victim, one of which read, "Where are you hiding?" followed by another, "Stop playing hide and seek. You are lucky it jammed." That night, Betro allegedly returned once more to Measham Grove. CCTV footage showed a figure firing multiple rounds into Mohammed's home through the windows. Walkling told jurors, "The gun didn't jam that time, did it?" The bullets caused significant damage, penetrating 2 windows in the bay area of the house and 1 in the bedroom. Shell casings recovered at the scene and photographs of the damage were shown to the jury. Again, the shooter was described as matching Betro's appearance, down to the hoodie, handbag and build. While en route from the second attack, she sent another chilling text to Mr. Mohammed. "You want to rip me off? You want to be a drug king? Go look at your house. Watch your back. I'll be shedding blood." The following day, Betro boarded a flight back to the United States from Manchester Airport. Nazir followed 3 days later. Authorities, already piecing together evidence from CCTV, phone records, vehicle rentals and witness accounts, launched an extensive investigation into the cross-border plot. Jurors were told that the prosecution's case hinges on a wealth of digital, forensic and circumstantial evidence linking Betro to the shooting. Walking emphasised that despite the defendant's denials, the volume of corroborated information paints a clear picture of her involvement. Betro's alleged use of multiple phones, assumed identities, and frequent travel suggests a degree of operational planning more commonly associated with organised criminal enterprises than personal vendettas. Prosecutors argue that her willingness to carry out a shooting in a residential neighbourhood twice demonstrates not only premeditation, but an alarming disregard for public safety. The trial continues.